The Fairy Boy of Leith, by Anonymous. About 15 years since, having business that detained me for some time at Leith, which is near Edinburgh, in the Kingdom of Scotland, I often met some of my acquaintance at a certain house there, where we used to drink a glass of wine for our refection. The woman which kept the house was of honest reputation among the neighbours, which made me give the more attention to what she told me one day about a fairy boy, as they called him, who lived about that town. She had given me so strange an account of him, that I desired her I might see him the first opportunity which she promised. And not long after, passing that way, she told me there was the fairy boy but a little before I came by, and casting her eye into the street said, "Look you, sir, yonder he is at play with those other boys," and pointing him out to me, I went, and by smooth words and a piece of money, got him to come into the house with me, where, in the presence of divers people, I demanded of him several astrological questions, which he answered p. 171 with great subtlety, and through all his discourse, carried it with a cunning much above his years, which seemed not to exceed 10 or 11. He seemed to make a motion, like drumming upon the table with his fingers, upon which I asked him whether he could beat a drum. To which he replied, "Yes, sir, as well as any man in Scotland. For every Thursday night I beat all points to a sort of people that used to meet under yonder hill," pointing to the great hill between Edinburgh and Leith. "How, boy?" quoth I, "what company have you there?" "There are, sir," said he, "a great company both of men and women, and they are entertained with many sorts of music besides my drum. They have, besides, plenty of variety of meats and wine, and many times we are carried into France or Holland in the night, and return again, and whilst we are there, we enjoy all the pleasures the country doth afford." I demanded of him how they got under that hill, to which he replied that there was a great pair of gates that opened to them, though they were invisible to others, and that within there were brave large rooms, as well accommodated as most in Scotland. I then asked him how I should know what he said to be true, upon which he told me he would read my fortune, saying I should have 2 wives, and that he saw the forms of them over my shoulders, and both would be very handsome women. p. 172. The woman of the house told me that all the people in Scotland could not keep him from the rendezvous on Thursday night, upon which, by promising him some more money, I got a promise of him to meet me at the same place in the afternoon, the Thursday following, and so dismissed him at that time. The boy came again at the place and time appointed, and I had prevailed with some friends to continue with me, if possible, to prevent his moving that night. He was placed between us and answered many questions, until about 11 of the clock he was got away unperceived by the company. But I, suddenly missing him, hastened to the door and took hold of him, and so returned him into the same room. We all watched him, and of a sudden he was again got out of doors. I followed him close, and he made a noise in the street, as if he had been set upon, and from that time I could never see him.